Hi, I'm Chelsea with Nourish for Life, and today I'm going to show you how to make a low effort, very quick, low histamine frittata. Now this is great for people with dysautonomia, especially because it's going to be high in protein, high in salt, and very easy to make. And so just to get started, I'm going to be cooking today with one of my cast iron skillets. I've used this size intentionally, so if you don't have cast iron, you can use something simple like a pie dish. And so normally frittatas are started on the stove. I am going to actually cook my veggies in the oven because I found that this is an easier way for me to cook vegetables without having to stand or sit next to the stove. And so, first things first, I have some veggies pre-chopped. Now with trying to conserve time and energy, I found that it's best for me to get as many veggies as I can pre-chopped. And so I usually start with pre-chopped cauliflower, pre-chopped Brussels sprouts, and sometimes I'll use things like broccoli. I'm also using a pre-chopped butternut squash today. And then I have some leeks that I chopped before for a soup, and so I have these left over, and some fresh dill. If it's not realistic for you to buy pre-chopped veggies because they are a bit more expensive, you can always buy the whole version and then chop, wash, and freeze them. I personally find it very helpful to have pre-chopped and even cooked vegetables. I'll cook Brussels sprouts, cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, mushrooms, carrots, veggies. I'll just do a big tray of them, cook them, and then cool them and then put them in the freezer. That way if I make a dish like this, I don't even have to cook the veggies first. I can just use the veggies after I thaw them and put them straight into the frittata. So that can be a really easy trick too. Today we're going to cook the veggies and make the whole frittata. Okay, so to start, I'm going to use avocado oil. So I really like avocado oil. It's a great fat profile, very heart healthy, and the other benefit is that avocado oil has a high smoke point. And so this means that I can cook it at a high temperature without having the oil break down and become an unhealthy oil. And so my two favorite oils are avocado oil and olive oil. Avocado oil has a higher smoke point, so that's what I'm going to be using today. We'll just have the spray for ease. You can easily use just a regular bottled avocado oil if you like. Okay, so I start with spraying the pan, then I'm going to start adding some of the veggies. So I have this chopped cauliflower. I'm going to add about 1.5 cups of this. It doesn't need to be exact. And you can certainly add more or less depending on your tolerance or preference. I tend to like my frittatas loaded with vegetables, and so I might do more than the typical person, but I like to have veggies in every bite if I can. So, and then I'm going to do 1.5 cups of these chopped Brussels sprouts. Okay, and then I'm going to add about 1 cup of chopped leeks. And then I'm just going to do 1 cup of chopped butternut squash. Okay, now I have my veggies there. I'm just going to give them another quick spray with the avocado oil. Add some seasonings. So I'm going to do some salt first. And this is where, if you have pots, you can certainly be generous with the salt here, which I was, but if you don't, if you need to be on a low sodium diet, or you're concerned about your heart health, you have high blood pressure, then use less salt. Just a pinch should be enough. I'm going to also add about 1 teaspoon of freeze-dried garlic. I'm going to add some parsley, so about 1/2 tablespoon. And then I have some fresh chopped dill here as well, so I'm going to do about 1/2 tablespoon of that as well. And now we're just going to mix the veggies and then put them in the oven to bake. You can see how beautiful the colors are. And so part of the reasons that I chose these veggies, I want to highlight the nutrition benefits of those. So cruciferous vegetables like the cauliflower and the Brussels sprouts have a lot of fiber in them, which is great. Brussels sprouts carry a lot of vitamin K. They also carry calcium, some iron in them. And so those are really great. Cauliflower has a lot of vitamin C in it. We're going to lose some of that with the cooking process, but it'll still retain some antioxidants and that fiber. Cruciferous vegetables also carry a compound called indole 3-carbinol, which helps with estrogen regulation, which is great for people like myself who have endometriosis. And then we have leeks, which are also high in vitamin K, vitamin C, vitamin A. Great for you. And then the butternut squash is very high in vitamin A, also has some vitamin C, and has a good balance with soluble fiber. If you're someone that struggles to tolerate vegetables, I would substitute the Brussels sprouts and the cauliflower with something like a summer squash, maybe a mushroom, some asparagus. Those are all going to be easier for your digestive system. And the butternut squash has a lot of that good soluble fiber that's going to be easy to digest as well. So you can still get good veggie content with an easier to digest option. And so we're just going to throw these in the oven and bake them off. Once they're almost done, we'll pull them out and I'll show you how to add the eggs and make this frittata a frittata. All right, so we're back. These veggies have been in the oven at 350 for 25 minutes. You can see they're nicely cooked, starting to get soft, but not all the way done yet. So now we are going to add the eggs and the cottage cheese. So we're just going to crack 6 eggs. One of the signs of a good and healthy egg that's come from a healthy hen is that the shells are hard to crack. It means that they have lots of good calcium in them. And these are just regular eggs. You can also buy the omega-rich eggs if you like, for a little decreased inflammation benefit. The omega-rich eggs, what's different about them is that the hens are fed more flax seeds, and the flax seeds carry those omega-3s. Okay, and so I'm just going to whisk these eggs. Okay, you can see the eggs are nice and blended, nice golden color. Now we're going to add half of a cup of cottage cheese. Here I have a 2% cottage cheese, small curd. It's not completely exact, just scoop half a cup and throw it in. And then we blend again with the whisk. I find that this is a great way to add extra protein. It also adds extra sodium, and it's a low histamine way to add some cheese to this recipe as well. Okay. So this is looking good, and now very simple. I'm just going to pour this over the vegetables. I want to make sure that everything's kind of laying flat so that it cooks evenly. Okay, and now we will just put this mixture back in the oven to finish baking. Alright, so we're back to check on the frittata. It's been in the oven now for 20 minutes. So you want to bake it 15 to 20 minutes at 350 once the eggs have been added. You're going to see it looks like this. So that's great. It's done. You could eat it like this. I am going to stick it back in the oven, put the broiler on low, and let it sit for just a couple of minutes so I get that nice golden brown look on top. And I'll check back with you in just a minute. Alright, so now we're all done. I just put this under a low broiler for 3 to 5 minutes. You can see now it has some golden brown top. And so what I'm going to do now is let this cool for about 5 to 10 minutes. Then I'm going to slice it, enjoy it, and the leftovers I will, I'll put them in the fridge. Once they've cooled a bit more, then to keep them low histamine, I put the slices in the freezer and keep them in the freezer, and then all week I can pull a slice out, have it for breakfast. I like to have mine with maybe a rice cake and some cream cheese, or put it on a bed of arugula or kale if I want to add some extra greens. But it can just be a great way to get a high protein, low histamine, easy made breakfast that is going to be great for you, give you tons of antioxidants, help decrease inflammation, just all around a really easy way to get a nourishing and healthy breakfast. I hope you enjoy this as much as I do, and thank you so much for watching.